Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, or actually, not morning. It's freaking lunchtime already. I hope you guys are enjoying a lunch break. Um, I think I'm peaking a little bit. Let me see if I can turn on some compression over on my end. Here we go. All right, we'll see how that sounds later. If I have if there are any major issues with the audio, you guys would be more than welcome to let me know. I'm sure you will. And right now, we're just waiting for Mark to get home and get ready to join the stream. But in the meantime, you have me, JP. I'll be your gracious host for today's stream, as usual. And we have quite a few topics to cover today, despite it being a relatively slow news week in terms of tabletop news. We've got a couple exciting topics and a couple of housekeeping topics that I want to raise with all of our dice friends over on Dicecast. Why did I have to say that super weird? That's weird. Absabel, sounds fine, but I miss your beautiful face. Don't worry, you'll see our beautiful, beautiful faces in a little bit. I'm just fixing a few things in the back end, and then we're going to launch once Mark is ready. Actually, you know what? We can go ahead and launch ahead of time and let Mark join in once we're already underway. Because I don't think we need to. Yeah, we don't need to sync topics today. He's a little bit under the weather. He's feeling a bit under the weather, so I'll be handling most of the talking today anyway. Let's go ahead and launch into our intro, shall we? Boom! Chakalaka. And we're back. Hello, hello. I'm just going to take in Mark's call over on Discord. Let me go ahead and join the call that he made. I think we're hearing him now.
Hello.
Hello, Mark. Good to hear from you. How's your arm, buddy?
What's that? Sorry, say again.
How's your arm?
It's okay. It's not. It's really not that like that painful.
No? Really? Okay.
It's just limited. Like once I move it past like a certain point, that's when that's when the pain hits. But like when it's just idle, it's pretty okay. Like there's a dull ache, I think, but then that's fine.
So you're going to have to be ready to field any questions from our viewers who are going to ask about the cast, the whole cast situation.
It's
That's
actually not that big of a cast. See, it's just
really?
for my wrist.
Oh, right. It doesn't go up to the elbow. That picture you sent earlier on Telegram is very, very misleading. It looked like it went through
Oh
up to
yeah.
the whole arm.
No, yeah, because you can't see. The sling is for my elbow. So like I said earlier, um there is like so my wrist has like a hairline fracture and like slight displacement of one of the bones. So
Gosh.
what they did here, that's why it's in a cast, so that it stays in. Like we want to see if it stays in place as it heals. Uh, and then, but the sling is for because there's like a, I'm not sure where exactly, but like one of my elbow bones near the joint like
There
has
are
a chip.
multiple elbow bones? I didn't know that.
I don't know. Like
Thought we
there's
had
two
just.
bones, right, in the
Uh huh.
forearm that go up to the joint thing.
Okay.
So one of those has like a chip, like right at the end. So this is just to keep this relaxed and steady
Oh,
while
man.
that heals.
Okay. So, but did they give a time frame on how long it might take for you to fully heal, cover?
Um. So yeah, there is like 2 weeks to see how the elbow one does, and then another 2 weeks, I think, or another week, another 2 weeks to check on the wrist. So yeah, it's this won't. I don't. That doesn't. To me, that doesn't seem too long. Like but yeah, like if this isn't healed properly, there are, like then we'll look at options for surgery and stuff
Yeah.
to get the wrist right.
I think the best thing you can do is to just rest as much as possible. Try not to move it, try not to injure it again. Don't ride your freaking scooter again until you're
Of
ready.
course. Yeah, until I'm all healed, of course.
Sarah, thank you so much for the 11th month in a row. Your subscription is much appreciated. I still have to make it worth subscribing to Dicecast, so please don't. I'm telling everyone right now, don't subscribe to Dicecast. I can't give you anything that'll make it worth it. Um, Ego is Epsabal. He's saying to recover soon, wishing you well. It looks like an incident that occurred at nighttime while doing something. Close. You want to tell the story?
Like at noon. It was high noon. No, yeah, I was just like on Saturday before Ready Level 1, I was scooting from over, over to um to meet up with JP to go
Mm-hmm.
to the event. And yeah, like basically I hit a rut, and I went in and out of a deep rut, lost control. Like stem wobble is a thing
Mm.
with these like with these vehicles. So I'd heard of it before, but I'd never really experienced it until then. So yeah, it's a bit of something that I didn't know what to do about. And so I ended up like eating asphalt.
I mean,
Um,
not
I
literally.
know
You,
better
you didn't.
now.
You didn't have to. You didn't
Yeah,
smash
I
your
didn't face
face
plant.
into it, but
Yeah, but yeah, I wiped out. And yeah, like
I
picked
can
myself
just
up,
picture it
went
right
over
now.
to the event.
Like if someone was if I had my dash cam and I was right there, I would have probably got the clip of you wiping out and then done the whole GTA wasted slow mo and fade to
Yeah,
black and white.
that would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Would have
I
made it
almost
almost
wish I
worth it.
had like a helmet cam and we could have done that. I should
uh
get a helmet cam for these
you
times.
should,
But yeah,
regardless, even if you don't expect to. I mean, it's for your own safety, for your own insurance. You should get a
right.
helmet cam. I should get a dash cam because there are a lot of crazy drivers out there, myself.
Yeah, that's something that definitely like we gotta look into. It's yep.
Yeah, gotta
But yeah,
protect
like
ourselves.
this isn't it's I don't know. Like I feel like it would have happened whether I was on a electric scooter or a bike or whatever,
Hmm.
or just walking on the street. Accidents happen, and you can't just deal with it.
Sarah's asking, is the
Um,
scooter worth it though?
it is like I've been able to save so much. I've been able to save so much on gas, on parking. It also it's even better. Like Edwina has like a folding, like around the same time we got this electric scooter, Edwina got a folding bike. So we've really been able to, you know, we've really been able to save on gas and parking, like on days where we don't really
Okay,
need the car,
and I guess
but
the
just need to
money
get
that
around.
went to into those savings are going into your hospital bills, huh?
Kinda. Well, we're lucky enough that like a family member is an orthopedic surgeon who happens to specialize in hands. So yeah, like we didn't pay as much as we ought to. So that's really lucky,
Hmm.
I guess. Counting our privileges and all that. But yeah, it's we're okay.
Good, good.
And
I'm glad you
like
are.
you don't get caught up in traffic. You're not polluting the environment. You're taking up less space on the road. Like I would say that yeah,
Hmm.
this accident, while accidents happen, like I know better next time, but it's completely avoidable. So I don't feel too bad about it.
Okay. So Ebsabal Ego actually upgraded his Twitch Prime sub to a tier one
Oh,
sub. Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. You're giving us even more money. Again, I can't say that it's worth it, but for any show of support is much
It's
appreciated by
worth it.
us. It's
We will
worth it.
make it worth it.
You can make
It's
some. You can use the Orly emote. That alone is
yeah.
worth it. We
Yes.
also have Angela watching on Facebook. She is clarifying before Ready Level 1. Yeah, it was your spill happened right
Oh,
before the
dude,
event.
yeah. Like it was once the adrenaline wore off, like I was reconsidering in my and we'd set up the audio and all that already. well, I'd set up the audio and all that because that's really my role
Mm-hmm.
when we do live event coverage. So like the audio's all set up, and the adrenaline had worn off, and then so the pain was kind of starting to, it was fresh, so the pain was kind of starting to creep in. I was
Hmm.
thinking, oh god, like I should go to a clinic, but then I don't know, like it seemed like such a fun event. I just wanted to hang out.
It was a fun event.
If
And
I, yeah.
it was ridiculous though because all through the event I was just worried about your elbow. And it started out fine obviously because the adrenaline had kicked in, but then as we progressed through the event, like your elbow lost more and more mobility until it eventually just completely locked up.
Yeah, it's the elbow itself, the joint like was swelling up.
I wanted to
Yeah.
bring you to the hospital, like just to cancel our
Ah,
thing at the event, but oh,
nah,
toughed it
it was
out.
fine.
Oh man, Sarah says you're lucky you're connected to a doctor like that, a
We
hand
are,
doctor.
we are, really are.
And Eagle's already enjoying
Circle
his
back.
emotes. Good for you. And Angela also wishes you to get well soon, and props for
Thank
continuing the
you,
event. So,
thank you,
that
thank
said, were
you.
you able to take a look at our topics for today?
Not yet. I just got home from fetching my daughter,
All right.
so I'm just about to enter, to open the yeah, the thing.
No, that's fine. You
Our
can take your
topic slot.
time. Remember that you can use exclamation point. Anyone watching us, you can use exclamation point topics in chat to get a link to our daily topics so you can follow along if you want to. Of course, we're going to discuss as many of them as we can, but if you want to take part in it, then that's great. You can go ahead and do that as well. Angela says you're pretty hardcore for continuing the event, despite the injury.
Oh, thank
So our
you.
first topic, as usual, is a bit of housekeeping. Like what we were just discussing earlier, we covered Ready Level 1 yesterday? No, 2 days ago? Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a very, very excellent D&D event that was catered especially to and specifically to newbie D&D players. So people who had only played D&D once or twice before, or even never before. I think Lance um, shared a bit of the logistics information with us. They were able to survey people who pre-registered for the event, and apparently over 70% of the attendees had never played D&D or any other role-playing game their
Wow.
life before the event, which is pretty crazy.
I mean, they definitely hit their target audience.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that they consider the event a massive success. I haven't checked
They
Adventures
should.
Anonymous Facebook yet for any announcements or any, updates regarding the event. They
Uh huh.
usually do post like not really postmortems, but just follow-ups on how their event.
Debriefs.
Yeah, a little bit of a public debriefs to people,
Mm-hmm.
anyone interested in knowing how their events went. So I'll keep an eye on their page later. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we restreamed it over on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Our usual Twitter. Why did I say Twitter? It's Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Why do I say Twitter? It's so stupid. Um, you can catch the VOD of it on any of those channels. On Twitch, it's going to decay soon. They delete the VODs on Twitch after a couple weeks, so you can probably catch it on Facebook or YouTube, and it's fully timestamped. I don't know if you saw the comments that I posted on both the Facebook and
Oh
the
yeah,
YouTube
that was
ones.
handy.
Yeah, so you can jump right to the timestamps where we have the major interviews and some highlights that I think are worth watching from the stream. Twitcher, says Sarah. That sounds kind of derogatory.
Your audio cut out for a bit.
It,
That you think what?
that I think sounds pretty, or that I think seem pretty worth watching. To like, if you wanted to only see the highlights, I timestamped some of them.
Ah,
I'm not quite sure, if all of it is worth watching because there's a bit of I watched through most of it, and there's a bit of audio artifacting, and also we kind of dropped the ball. I kind of dropped the ball on the mics, on the audio equipment. Mark did the best that he could given what I was able, but it's still not up to our usual standard of audio. So if you do want to listen through it, we cleaned it up as best as we could. Well, not really cleaned it up, but Mark prepared or gain staged the audio as best as he could. So it's pretty watchable compared to other non-professional streams out there, I'd say give it a shot. And if you are interested in these kinds of events, we will let you know of future Dicecast partnerships with other event organizers for other events that we might cover in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to give the Loeb one a shot, the one at Solaire. You want to reach out to them?
You?
I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be possible for us to. It's kind of short notice, but we can give it a shot if you're game.
What? Sorry, you cut out a bit. You think what?
I think that we can. I think we can reach out to Loeb and try and cover the Solaire event, the one where they're expecting 200
Oh, that's
registrants.
Greasy
Oh,
Snitches.
greasy snitches. Okay, not
Yeah,
Loeb.
yeah. Not Loeb.
We can see.
Well, maybe. Yeah, we can see.
I'm kind of
If
scared
it,
at the thought.
I'm down to try. Like that's yeah, I'm down to try.
We also tried something different with that stream. It was a little bit more focused on the people behind the
Mm-hmm.
events. Uh,
Yeah.
we wanted to focus on the community and what makes the local tabletop community worth being part of and worth going to these public events for. Because
Right.
there's a lot of other ways to watch actual play. You can go to Tabletop PH. They do it better than us. They do it more often than us and more consistent than us. You can watch Critical Role. You can watch lots of other actual play
Mm-hmm.
shows and podcasts. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way we do it is a little bit more unique. Maybe it's a little less represented, especially with relation to it being relevant to our local scene. Um, so yeah, even if you're, I think it's good to cover these events from that angle of
Mm-hmm.
interpersonal and community based focus coverage, because there's still a lot of people who, even though they want to get into the hobby, they're a little shy to go to the events.
Right.
It's still a big
Right.
commitment. You have to
Right.
show up. You have to wake up in time to go to these events. You have to get ready. You have to find a friend to go with, unless you're super ballsy and are willing to go alone.
And for people who are completely new, like the people at Ready Level One, like you have to, you have to pay an entry fee. You have to bring dice. You
Yeah.
have to buy dice. You have to learn. Learn the game like on the day.
hmm
It's yeah, it can be quite a big commitment.
It can, which is why I think our
Like one of the
coverage.
things I think, like just to contrast to what JP is talking about, like our previous event coverages, like at Action to Aid and Turn Undead, we had featured um we had featured um like views of the table, like an actual play session of like a single table at the event where you can see uh, DMs like Lance and Marek actually DMing for players, capturing the audio of this table as they go through an adventure. And yeah, the one we did Saturday was like really like it's fun, also equally fun to put like a name, a face to the people who organize the events, the concessionaires at the events, the art, some hopefully like someday artists at the events, and then yeah, we were hoping that actually that we could get a DM and one of the players to come on the stream, but I guess we ran out of time a bit because we had to leave. Our egress time was like 7, so yeah, next
Yes,
time.
we only covered like 4 hours of the event, but it
Mm-hmm.
went on for I think six
Until
more
11.
hours, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy. That said, that doesn't mean that we're not going to do game streams at all. We're just going to also do them with that community focus in mind as
Mm-hmm.
a backdrop. I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes Mark and myself feel more fulfilled covering. So,
Yeah.
if you and I enjoy doing it, I hope it. I mean, not the phrasing. If you and I enjoyed covering events that way, then I
Yeah.
hope it comes off in the stream. Oh my God, so much phrasing. Sarah has to go. She'll catch us later. Bye, Sarah.
See ya.
Solaris so far. She says, I just noticed this now, but Ego said maybe the hand doctor can get you contacted to your identical hand twin. Lots of money there. I understood that reference. You are a man of
Oh
culture,
man,
Ego.
I did not. Sorry. This heathen.
That's okay. It's a friend's reference.
Okay.
uh, do we have any other housekeeping to cover? I think.
I think that's
Do
it.
you have any updates regarding your Forbidden Lands
Oh yeah.
play?
So luckily, I don't have much typing left to do.
Mm.
Uh, the overlay is all set up. I've got an idea of uh, how to do like the specific brand of dungeon delving that you do in Forbidden Lands
Okay.
already, like on Roll20. And so yeah, like all that stuff to do, like is really get the players together, have session zero where we create the characters, talk about like what we want out of this game, and then at the same time, like we said, even our actual plays, like we want to have some kind of um uh focus on the community. So one of my goals for this upcoming Forbidden Lands campaign stream is much in the same way on here on Table Talk, where we highlight local events, local organizations, local creators. Um, we at the end of each stream, like I guess like there's no need to kind of dance around it, but we're big fans of First Feast and Hot Ones, and
Yeah.
like we want to give each player who are from different tabletop RPG communities in and around Metro Manila. Like each of them will have, a spot at the end of each stream, letting you know like what you can like, where you can go uh for tabletop uh gaming goodness, like what events you can expect coming up and stuff like that. We see things that you would want to know as whether you're new or a veteran in when it comes to tabletop games. Yeah, we want to bring you guys that, and we want for these people to be able to share that with you guys as well.
Yeah. So do you have? Can you name any names, or is nothing final yet?
Oh, we've got some final stuff, but yeah, well, let's just keep it a surprise.
Okay.
Like, yeah, like we've got some representation from a gaming community in the south,
Cool.
and
Cool.
then some one of the players is also part of uh a one of the bigger one of the major and very active RPG events organizations here. They're very yeah. Then another one is one of the a game designer, a local game designer who was also part of Session Zero and
Mm,
is very active in not just making games but kind of building connections with around the Southeast Asian tabletop RPG community. So we have
good.
a few of those to look forward to.
Congratulations on putting that all together. By the way, you did this solo.
Well,
Mark is
don't count all our chickens just yet because we have
okay.
yet to reach
Yeah.
episode one. But thank you.
You technically have yet to do a session zero with that.
Yeah,
So I mean,
so we'll be
anything
doing
can
that
happen, but
soon.
it looks like you're doing everything properly right now. So
Hopefully,
hopefully, it
hopefully,
gets off on the right track. All right.
yeah.
Speaking of getting off on the right track, let's get the rest of this show off on the right track by starting
All right,
off with a bit of a charity topic. We're going to be revisiting a couple of our old friends who we've been trying to support in past streams. So first up is Briarwood and the Tavern. They are halfway towards their goal on what's it called again? GoFundMe.
uh huh.
So if you forgot what happened, they actually suffered a fire. Their condo or their apartment burned down. They lost a lot of stuff, and also need to look for a new place to live. So we've supported them on our end by donating a little bit of our pocket change, and also by promoting their page on our streams. Briarwood and the Tavern, they are a vendor, a local um what's the term? Artisanal craftsmen? craftspeople,
I guess.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Sure.
They create uh, RPG and D&D related apparel or jewelry and dice. So if you were ever interested in wearing something that's a little bit representative of your character, or other characters based on a popular web series like Critical Role, they create bracelets and necklaces and other jewelries that are themed after those characters. And I believe you can also custom create or custom request for those kinds of themed apparel, and they sell dice and other well. So if you are feeling generous, any amount will do to help them find a new home. So that once again is Briarwood and the Tavern. They have a Go Get Funding page, not GoFundMe. I misspoke earlier, and let me see if I can post that in
I think Go
all
Get
the chats.
Funding is it's local, I
Oh,
believe.
okay,
So like it's easier for them to to be able to work with the platform to receive funds. I
I
think
see. Okay,
GoFundMe, they ran into some issues before that. Like I don't think they specifically maybe cater to the Philippines. I think
right.
that is a problem. So yeah, Go Get Funding was the better choice, I think, for them.
So as of October 1, this was posted by Karen from Briarwood in the Tavern. They have raised about 4,500 pesos, 4,500 pesos in total, which is about one fourth of the way towards the goal. And I think since then they've raised even
I'm not
more.
sure. Do we, JP?
Yeah,
Sometimes you're cutting out on my end, but I'm not sure if that means you're cutting out on the streams
I don't
too.
think I'm cutting out on the stream because nobody's been complaining. I'm cutting out
Okay.
on. I noticed that on Discord and on GridFam.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
little bit of stuttering going on.
Okay.
So
All right. Cool. I just wanted to make sure that like everyone else is able to understand you.
yeah, I'm sorry. If people are
It's okay.
not hearing me clearly or if I'm cutting off
Let's
on
know.
stream, please, please, please let us know. The one thing
Yes.
that I hate most about streaming is not knowing if there's anything wrong. Okay? Because I think Mark and I both just want to give you guys the best experience that we can. So let us know if there's issues. We would love to correct them. But so far, I'm not seeing any drops, frame drops, or anything. So I think we're good on my end.
All right. All right.
Here
Cool.
we go. You can see their total amount raised. Wow, they've raised 13,190 pesos already out of their 20,000 peso goal. I think that's to cover the first month of their new rent, of their rent at
Yeah.
uh,
A new
a new
place.
place. And
Yeah.
they're also like,
Now,
they don't have to do this, but they're also offering rewards or kind of compensation to the
I
donors.
know.
They don't have to do this. I really don't want them to do this because they should put all of the money into getting themselves back on their feet. But Briarwood and the Tavern are saying that they're going to give things like accessories or discounts, art, shout outs in socials and on their live streams and podcasts, and higher activity in booths and convention appearances.
like like just to put that pledge goal into context, that is not a lot. That is a very
Uh,
that's a very humble sum of
It
money, like to
is.
get started on a place to rent. Now, I know they're not based in Manila. That's like I think it's Iloilo. So they, like rent is different there, but still, like that is a very um, like for a lot of places in Manila,
Yeah.
depending on where you live, that's easily like 1 month of rent.
And they're
And it's
saying
expensive.
it's not even
Yeah,
just rent. They're also
yeah,
going to be using the money for furnishings because, I mean, their apartment burned down. So they have to replace
yes,
all of the things
yes,
that got burnt, like beds, tables, and chairs.
yeah,
Um, they had to also need to pay for living expenses like groceries and
expensive.
medicine.
Yeah, and
Uh,
food
and
for their pets. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, if even if you hate people, you can donate to these guys at least to just take care of their cats,
yeah.
please.
So it's like it's not at all like an outrageous amount. It's a very humble amount that they're asking for.
Right.
So like if we can help them get to that 20K, Philippine pesos, that'd be huge, like for them.
It would. And another thing that would be huge if you could find the heart or the generosity in yourself to donate to would be to help fight. or to help Neil rally against cancer. I'm stuttering today. I think it's because I haven't hosted actually in a long time. Right? This is the first time I'm doing the host for a couple of weeks. Anyway, Neil is one of our oldest fans. Actually, if I recall correctly,
The first commenter.
he left the first YouTube comment on our first YouTube
Yeah.
video ever. So we actually partnered with Downtime Dudes, which is a podcast who, through an event in partnership with Adventures Anonymous, this was a couple months ago, to fundraise a little bit of the medicinal and medical costs to help Neil out with his fighting his affliction. So
Right.
we were able to raise a few thousand pesos. So thank you everyone who donated then. Of course, if you are able to, I'm sure Neil would appreciate, and so would we, appreciate any more donations that you would be willing to spare to help him, get over this disease. Cancer is a bitch. This guy has a family and a kid, and I'm sure he would like to live long enough to see his son grow. The last update, I believe, was okay. There hasn't been any new updates since the fundraising campaign, but there have been a steady stream of people who have donated.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as recently as August 25, and then
Yes.
others offline. Because he is also accepting donations directly to his BDO bank account, with the information of which is on the Go Get Funding page. So here's the latest update. September 18, chemo session number 7. Neil writes that he just finished his 7th treatment session earlier on September 18. Just one more to go. And the results of his CT scan yesterday, according to his oncologist, are good results. He had the CT scan of his neck and chest and of the abdomen, and overall, the results have been good. One of the main impressions from the results says that his chest scan is negative from mediastinal lymphadenopathies. God, words are hard. Lymphadenopathies,
Especially medical words.
especially medical words. Um, which Neil assumes means that the mediastinal tumor that he has is now undetectable, which is
That's a
awesome.
good thing. Is that a good thing?
I believe if
If
it's
it's undetectable,
undetectable, that means that either
it's almost
it's
gone.
in remission,
Yeah,
or
that's the word.
it's gone. I mean,
Okay.
we're keeping our hopes up, positivity all around. But yeah,
Right.
this means that your money has been put to good use. Anyone who donated,
Yes.
because it's actually helping. We're seeing him get better, which is great.
Yes.
He can almost go get rid of this fucking cancer and go back to living his life normally, he says at the end of that update. So this is him with his 3DS. That's so happy. I love it. Also, I saw your message on Telegram. I forgot about those description parts.
It's
If you
okay.
want to, you can go ahead and take care of those for.
I can't. I can't
Oh right, you
really.
can't type. Oh shit.
It's okay. Next time,
Oh
like
man,
we'll fix it after the stream, like so it doesn't it
right. It
doesn't
doesn't
happen.
archive that way at least.
Yeah.
My
Exactly.
bad.
No
Oh, I knew
problem.
there was something that I was missing.
No
Anyway,
problem.
okay. So with those out of the way, let's move on to our first actual tabletop, table talk topic. Wow. And talk about this unlikely source, this unlikely publisher and developer of a new tabletop RPG, Wendy's. So
Oh,
yeah,
I think this
apparently,
caught everyone by surprise.
yeah, there
I don't think
was
anyone expected this out of Wendy's
no.
at all.
I mean, we all know that Wendy's social is cheeky AF.
Yeah.
They are on point. Probably the best fast food social company, social media management going on.
Hmm.
But like to actually ride the tabletop renaissance wave
Yeah.
and create a rule book, a freaking not just a rule book, huh? And it's not just a set of systems, but there's actually a campaign setting and an adventure in there, which is ridiculous. Let's go ahead and scroll down their page. So they're calling it the
Here,
Feast of Legends. It's a free PDF. You can just download it, and I already have it from their website.
there
The
is a intro to the world,
yes,
right?
there's
It
an
says, "You are adventurers in the realm of Beef's Keep,
hmm
where the nations have been splintered over major disagreements in how to treat the realm's people. Creeping Vale and the United Clown Nations." Who is Creeping Vale?
um
Burger King?
Creeping Vale.
No.
I don't know. Is that maybe Arby's? I have no idea.
Okay, maybe. Okay, have led their people into a collective darkness known as the Deep Freeze. While the world currently
Oh.
feels like a cold and desolate place, you reside in the one nation that remains a true beacon of hope, Fresh Tovia. Fresh Tovia is known for its lush fields, signature dishes, and red-headed queen, Queen Wendy. As Queen of Fresh Tovia, Wendy has clapped back at all attacks on her borders. She is strong as and has maintained her nation's integrity despite the growing pressure of the other nations.
I mean, Wendy's sure isn't pulling any punches with
I
the
know.
references here.
It's
Um,
it's the good old fashioned like commercial TV ad feuds that
yeah,
it's so nice. Where's the beef and all that?
it's kind of funny. I'm loving it. This is kind of crazy, but Critical Role also caught wind of this,
Uh
and they actually did a one shot. I think it was last
huh.
Thursday. They actually did a one shot using this system. Um, there's a lot of backlash. I think there's a lot of people saying that Matt didn't look like he was having fun. Um, there are people saying that it's just a cop out, but I think it's just it's just so weird. They had to do this, you
Right,
know.
right.
If they didn't do it, someone else would, and someone else
Would have
get
complained
would have
also.
complained,
Yeah.
and someone else would have gotten the views. I mean, in the end, Critical Role is a company. They have to make sure that they're consistently
Yes.
topical. But yeah, I I I I also don't know how to feel about this. Some part of me feels like, hey, Wendy's is pretty cool for making a game, but obviously it's for it's hail corporate. They're riding on the renaissance of tabletop RPGs and tabletop gaming in general. How about we take a look at the actual PDF together, Mark? And
I feel like yeah, I'm scrolling through and it looks like a very trimmed down fifth ed from what I can tell.
does it? Okay, trim down fifth ed, but does it at least look like they took it seriously, the development of this game?
I feel like they did. I feel like they kind of did. I feel like whoever on their social media team made this, or they must have hired. Did they like? I want to look at the credits right now and see if this is purely internal or if they
Actually, that's a
hired
good idea. Is there any
someone.
credits or a
Um,
byline here? Doesn't say. I'm not seeing any on
um,
the early pages.
let me see the end. I'll look at the end of the document. See if there's any like credit to who if any third party
hmm
played a part in creating the game. Huh. This if this is purely internal, they you know um it it's no joke trimming down like a game system like
No, yeah, it's not. This is this was real work. They had to put real work
yeah,
into this, even uh if it's just at a superficial skinning level.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
And they didn't just reskin,
no,
they
they made their own
like if you look
campaign
at the monster
setting.
stats,
Oh, sure, sure. I'll look at those.
like if you look at the monster stats, they're very different from D&D 5e's monster stats. They're very simplified, but that means it's not just a reskin. They really it may be like a big corporate riding the
hmm
um the RPG renaissance, but it's also to me like it's the work of some passionate intern
Yeah,
who's passionate about games
I'm sure they
because
must have got an
it
intern
looks
to
really
do this.
good. Yeah. It
Artificities on our stream. What's up? Ahoy, ahoy! Welcome to the
Hello,
stream.
hello.
Oh man, this is. At first I was a little skeptical, but seeing just how much work was put into it, this is not just a reskin. You're right. Some of it is borrowed from fifth edition, which is to be expected.
Yes.
But like even the art, right? The layout. This looks legit. You can print this out. This could be a real book that looks like it belongs with all of the other books
Yep.
on your shelf. Man.
Okay, look, for example, you're familiar, it's like an interesting mix of D20
Hmm.
and
And fifth ed.
not fifth ed. It's an interesting mix of like fifth ed and games like L5R, like
Oh,
World
okay.
of Darkness. Because you have ranked techniques. So per class you have like a skill, but
Right.
it's not a skill like from fifth ed. It's more
Right.
like it's like a progression
Hmm.
of feats or like talents.
Like in
And
World of
so like
Darkness, yeah.
yeah, like in World of Darkness, like in L5R, you have techniques per school. It's like that. But with like the core mechanic being D20. So it's not just a reskin. It's a game. It's modified fifth ed, but it's a
Yep.
full on game.
And like we said, this
Interesting.
isn't just the system mechanics. This is an entire
A
campaign
setting,
setting,
yeah.
and there's an adventure here too.
Oh
Kind of
my god.
crazy.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
So yeah, if you're interested in this, it's a free PDF download from feastoflegends.com. It's it's kind of ridiculous that this exists at all. I'm just that I won't get over. It's I mean, Wendy's is cool on social. They actually have some pretty good items on their menu too. Like I'm honestly I'm thinking about getting a Wendy's after this. Uh,
Dude, can you get me one
you want me
too? I
to
might swing
sponsor your
by.
lunch? Jesus Christ! Wow.
Man, but
Artificity's
if I
asking.
got like a frosty, it'll be melted by the time we got here
Yeah, I
anyway.
would.
Oh, wow.
Artificity's asking, but how balanced is the monster design? How many splat books are we scheduled to get per year? These are the demands that we have of a free RPG. Also, Mark really went in on this research for realsies.
Oh, I didn't research. Like
No,
I skimmed through yeah, like character creation and like the monster manual. But you can already tell. Like like you can tell it's not classic fifth ed. It's not D&D D20 fifth ed. But it's not so work must have gone into that.
nope, nope.
On
I'm
Yeah.
the one running the stream today, so this entire topics list is on me. And the lack thereof of any substantial topics. I apologize in advance. But yeah, this is probably the biggest tabletop related topic of the week anyway. I
Yeah.
I don't. It
This
was
went
kind of a
viral
slow
quick.
week. It went viral real quick. Critical Role also did an episode on it, like we said before. Some people noticed that maybe Matt Mercer didn't enjoy, but that's just Matt Mercer's face. I have a feeling. I have a
Really?
feeling he
Did you
really.
watch it?
I didn't see it
Did you get
live,
that?
and I won't
Okay.
be
Oh,
able
did you
to
get that
see the
impression?
VOD. Um,
Oh, right.
but
Because they're
I
now,
yeah, because I'm not a subscriber to Critical Role.
yeah.
They'll upload it I think tomorrow on their YouTube page. But I'm seeing people talking about their the reaction
Really?
to this. Now other people are saying that Liam and Marisha they completely bought in. Like they just had unbridled joy during the entirety of the one shot. So maybe it was just Matt being in character
No.
with his character. There's some you have to account for the fact that these people are professional voice actors, and a lot of the
Right.
way that they get into the game is by really embodying the personalities and emotions of the characters that they were playing as. So maybe, uh, you know, Matt's character drew the short fry or something. I don't know. We'll see.
But then like how real is that? How real is it that like you have a regular tabletop group, right? Sometimes you try a different game just for kicks, and it's not always gonna be.
Yeah.
People are gonna enjoy it at different levels. Like, the maybe this week's diversion from D&D. It just isn't something that that the DM is super into, but some of the players are, and that
Maybe,
can be worth it. That can be
maybe.
that's not a bad thing.
They
Like
often do
it
take
happens.
breaks from their main Critical Role campaign to play other games.
Okay.
Like Taliesin Jaffe hosted recently a Call of Cthulhu
Oh, there you go.
campaign or adventure, one shot adventure, and it was really fun. I enjoyed watching it. There was a lot of visual effects that they actually did. They dressed up their stage really well. So,
Mm-hmm.
like light and dark, the actual physical lightness. Or illumination of a room is a big deal in the Call of Cthulhu RPG, and they
Mm-hmm.
played that in with the stage design very well. I have on stream right now some of the hot takes from some people regarding
Okay.
Critical Role's coverage of this of the D&D sorry D&D of the Feast of Legends RPG by Wendy's. Apparently there are people on Twitter who are asking Matt to stop representing LGBTQ because of the Wendy's one shot.
How is that?
I don't know. People were
What
saying
happened?
how disappointed they were over this sponsorship. I don't know. Um,
What must have happened that, like, are these members of the LGBTQ community like
I think
not
so.
happy with how he represented a
I
character?
I think they are just not happy with the fact that he's now associated with a corporation like Wendy's. That's
Oh.
all.
Oh, okay. It's a game though.
It's
Anyway, I
just
don't
a
know.
game. I mean, of course, it's not just a
And
game.
but
There's also corporate
but
what do you call it, agendas behind it. But these guys are just enjoying it as a game.
yeah, these are people who stream, tabletop RPG games. You know, like what is it?
I
And
know.
yeah, part of it is that if they didn't jump on it, then that's lost views for them, and like they do kind of have to um be responsible for their content, and like
Here's
I don't
another
know.
take. This person writes that he's seen a lot of comments, I mean, ostensibly on Twitter, about how Wendy's has nothing to do with the nerd culture. But have any of these people seen Wendy's marketing? Besides the trash talk on Twitter, they've been doing very well. They've been doing very well done cardboard art for nerdy stuff for years now, congratulating games
Really?
more. Yeah, I've seen pictures, posts on actually on the D&D subreddit, of their cardboard art, like the art that they write on boxes to their customers for takeout.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so he literally follows Wendy's on social media platforms because of their nods to nerd culture, and he doesn't even eat there. He thinks that the backlash is silly. It was a hilarious one shot.
Yeah. Yeah, in the end, like, it's this was made for, like, I guess for funsies, and I don't know. Like, it just feels weird for people to be like Matt didn't look like he had fun, when other players on the stream like really enjoyed, like,
Here's a
anyway.
little from the
Strange.
other side of the argument, though.
Okay.
Over on Reddit, a user writes that some of the criticism that CR Critical Role is receiving is warranted, he believes. They've worked incredibly hard to promote themselves as a caring, inclusive, and pro human rights company. In light of what others have highlighted about Wendy's business practices, this may not have been the best joint venture
Oh.
for Critical Role.
Oh, okay. So that's there's the beef.
Yes, there
There's
is the
yeah.
frozen beef. Now, to
Okay.
be clear, this person's opinion of Critical Role hasn't changed because of this partnership. He still believes them to be caring, inclusive, and holding to more progressive ideals. He just thinks that this was a poor business decision,
Right. This is a slip up.
and he or she hopes that they are more diligent in the vetting of who they work with in the future.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Some of the
All right.
criticism, he agrees, has not been delivered well. There are a lot of commenters acting as if this one misstep erases everything good that Critical Role has done in the past. For me, that seems a bit harsh. Give
Uh-huh.
criticism where criticism is due, educate when you can. And I think that's a more level-headed and balanced viewpoint.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. And then this guy just says he just wants a Wendy's D20. That's all he wants out of this. All right.
Like kind of off tangent,
Hmm?
but I don't know if I want to jump into this on stream either. But like reading. Um, okay, so just to unpack a bit, so I watched The Joker.
Oh,
The day
okay.
after it came out, and it's a controversial movie. A lot of people there are two sides to it. Essentially, people praising it for being like, if there was gonna be any origin story to the Joker, like this would be as good as it gets. And other people being quite alarmist about the movie, which like is understandable given the climate in America right now, and I guess like in many parts of the world too, given the climate in many parts of the world. Um, but like I think like Chris Stuckman.
Stuckman, yeah.
What's his last name? JP. Like we
Stuckman.
both watch this guy, but
Or
you watch him
Stuckman.
more. Hello,
Hey, so I think I lost you, Mark. It's Chris Stuckman.
Stuckman. There, Stuckerman. Chris
Stuckerman.
Stuckman. Like put it like put the polarization at least online in a way that I kind of agree with. It's that like especially when you're on Twitter, the more extreme your reaction, the more mileage you get. So I feel like whenever I read about like how people are reacting on Twitter, I kind of tend to shrug it off these days because of the nature of how you interact with social media on a place like Twitter. It it just tends to not to discount like all the good that Twitter can do, in terms of spreading information, getting a large and varied sample size of opinions on topics and stuff, and another place for people to kind of assemble,
Hmm.
so to speak. But like on it can also be like for things like this, it can also be it can also tend to swing to the extremes. So do take things with a grain of salt, especially when you're talking about social media. Like I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed
Yeah.
this for what it was. This RPG that Wendy's came out with for what it was. But yeah, like if you do have a problem with it, then I guess you can find people of the same mind on Twitter.
Yeah, there's a lot of anger, in general online. It's like I think a lot of people think that they won't be heard unless they take the superlative uh extremist position, which is
Hmm.
a little bit annoying for me to keep seeing over and over again across all sorts of fandoms, not just tabletop, but also
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars and Avengers and apparently now Joker.
Yeah.
I have to watch Joker still. No spoilers, please.
I no, don't worry. Chat, no spoilers, please.
If you spoil Joker for me, I'm banning you for the day. Let's catch up with chat, by the way, while we're here. I know that you've been chatting. Ebsabal says, "Please send some Wendy's to my office since you just gave me a craving." I'm sorry, so sorry. It's lunch time is almost over though, so you should probably get back to work. No Wendy's for you, buddy. Artificity says Philippines Wendy's is superior to American Wendy's, from what I hear. I agree.
Really? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you know both sides of the fence. What
yeah.
makes it better?
It's
Flavor?
yeah, it's
It's more
juicier.
flavorful.
It's juicier.
Oh, so what? Wendy's US is like a dry slab of cardboard.
Maybe that's pushing it too far, but
Okay.
it's just it. Mm, mm. I feel like I have to have a drink with Wendy's US. Like I have to have a soda.
Ah.
Here I can have Wendy's without. Maybe that's just humidity. you know, maybe it's just the humidity seeping into the burger.
Could be.
I don't know.
Could be.
What I will give Wendy's US though is that their fries are better. I like their fries a lot more than here.
What are the fries here for Wendy's? Are they like the thick? Are they the?
They're
I
thin.
think here they're the thick cut. Yeah, but not like
Oh,
KFC thick cut.
yeah, yeah. They're not KFC thick cut.
Yeah.
They're a little thicker than McDonald's,
Yeah.
but they don't have as much salt as McDonald's.
But yeah, not like to the point of it being like wedges, right? But
Yeah.
just like slightly thicker fries. Okay. Okay.
Um,
I like their chili bowl. That's the most suited thing I guess from them.
Actually, they do have good chili bowls here.
Yeah.
Artificity says boo, Mark. I don't know
I don't know
why.
why.
I don't know.
Why?
A lot of
Does they
things
like
we
the chili
say
bowl?
or post about here is it triggers Artificity. It's kind of funny. One thing he says, one thing I also think we have better is that we actually have better customer service as a whole in the fast food service industry. They're thin but with skin on. Maybe that's what I
I
don't
think that's
like.
referring to the
Yeah,
fries.
with the fries. Maybe that's what I don't like about the fries is that the skin is
Okay,
still
the
on.
skin's on. Okay, okay.
I
I
would
thought
say
at first I thought that was referring to the customer service industry.
they have skin.
Because because they get paid less than minimum wage, or
Yeah.
like poor people.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Artificity also raises a good point about the customer service industry here, or the customer service that we get in the food industry here. It seems to be a little more on point. Maybe because Filipinos care a little bit more,
Yeah,
in general, although they get paid a lot less,
yeah. It's unfortunate.
which is unfortunate
Super
and
unfortunate.
unfair. Yeah, we're gonna leave on that note to
Yeah,
go to go to our
yeah.
next
I don't
topic.
think.
I don't think there's
Yeah,
any way of picking it up, so let's just go on to Henshin, a Sentai RPG deluxe book over on
yeah.
Kickstarter. So this is another thing that you can spend your
I
money on, aside from Wendy's Burgers and donating to Briarwood in the Tavern or Neil Namoro. If you want to spend money, you can get this if you're into Sentai content or Sentai stuff. Mark, you want to take this because I am not into Sentai at all.
Okay, well, I'm not that into Sentai either, but well, we did cover this previously. So we
Yes.
covered the launch of this Kickstarter, and today it's just 59 hours to go. So they've
Mm.
already, I think they had a really good start, as I recall. They already like on day
On day one, they had
2 or 3,
yeah.
they already gotten almost twice their goal of 5,000 US dollars.
Their goal
Now
is
they're at
very small.
more than four
Fair.
times. Yeah, very very humble goal. Now they're at almost more than 4 times at 21,333 US dollars with 660 backers. So this is as good as done pretty much as far as Kickstarters go. Um, what the highlights I would say of this RPG, well, they're right there at the top of the page. It is a Cave of Monsters games um, creation, where it's a diceless, story-forward tabletop RPG that is a love letter to all things Super Sentai. For Americans, that's what Power Rangers, I guess, is the first thing that comes to mind for Super Sentai shows. For Filipinos, it might be Mask Rider or Bioman.
Or
And
Ultraman.
in Japan, of course, Ultraman too. Yeah, and yeah, so it's a game that's meant to be accessible to all types of game players. So there is, like there's room for representation all across the board, including heroes of color, LGBTQ plus heroes, and even disabled heroes. Because really, like what
Yeah.
Super Sentai does, it's all about transformation, right?
Right.
Like you can be one person in one mode of life and another person completely different. Like when you put on the mask and the suit and join your
Question.
team of multicolored um not vigilantes, of multicolored superheroes.
Question.
So yeah, what's up?
That said, that Sentai is all about transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that uh, you're a fan of My Hero Academia or Boku no Boku no something?
Boku no Hero
Yeah,
Academia.
Boku no
Yeah.
Hero Academia. Would you say that Deku's power would technically be representative of a Sentai trope?
I think All might be
All
like
Might, yeah,
definitely, yeah. But
yeah.
Boku himself, not so much. Like it feels like I don't I'm not like a lit major of any kind, so I don't want to use the word deconstruction. But it's like an interesting angle on the typical Superman, right?
Yes,
Boku, his body can't handle it. Deku, his body can't handle it, so he has to think of creative solutions, and creative applications of that superpower, so he doesn't wreck himself. So it's very different, but definitely like All Might is the it's both he's both like um Superman trope and a bit of I think the Sentai super trope.
Okay.
But yeah. Um so yeah, this is gonna be a pledge of $15 or more if you want to get the digital edition. And if you want the physical copy, it's gonna be 25 US. But yeah, again, this is gonna get you a 120-page book of Henshin, which gets you playbooks in all the colors from red all the way to the typical, right? Red, blue, black, green, yellow,
Hmm.
and pink. And then you get also gold and silver for, like if you're a special snowflake like Tommy. I'm kidding. um, but yeah, pre-made original characters for each color as well. Like if you want to just get started right away. Um, you have published modules that include Monster Freak. If you want to play, classic. Um, if you want to play Sentai heroes going up against classic movie monsters, Starface, which is very close, I think, from very close to Power Rangers, right? Because you have uh, college town heroes balancing personal lives with defending the Earth from intergalactic crime syndicates like Rita Repulsa and stuff like that.
Mm.
So you have the art here is by Wook Jin Clark of Adventure Time fame. For Monster Freak, you have Emmett Helen who did art for Rick and Morty as well.
Wow.
And then yeah, there's one more published module which is Bug Camp, which it's a love letter to summer camps and cryptid folklore. And it's a bit more like Pokemon. You're using the powers of insects and nature to defend Earth's lush forests. And the art is by Carolyn Nowak from Girl Town and No Better Words.
So, as is typical with most Kickstarters, these guys also had pledge goals, which were, I think, or sorry, stretch goals, which were all funded. So, if you do get the physical copy of the book, you will also get official tokens. You'll get a
Mm-hmm.
Jaminger module. What is Jaminger? You can check out their first episode on YouTube channel Henshin Squad. So I guess they're going to not only is this an indie made or an indie produced and animated Henshin style
Oh,
show, but now they have a game, a presence in their game, which is pretty cool.
pretty cool.
10,000. They were able to fund the Kamen Rider hack of Henshin called Rider Konshu. Core
There
mechanics
you
are
go.
familiar to Henshin, and the game would run like a module with a ready-to-play setting, explanation of new mechanics, playbooks for 3 riders, and 3 supports and plot hooks for multi-session play. 13,000 is funded. They have new color playbooks, which are again included with the Henshin book, as well as in the free printable worksheets.
Mm-hmm.
And then 15,000 fully funded. 50-50 RPG game. I think this was inspired by Ranma One Half. Uh, so this is inspired by the work of Rumiko Takahashi. It's a game about skilled fighters who are cursed to transform into animals. So yeah, Ranma One Half.
Yeah,
It's a card-based party game about fighting, romance, and love triangles. The beta will be available to all backers in late 2020 before release. So yeah, it sounds like they've got a lot of stuff, you know, packed into a $15 back here.
you've got scores of things, of tropes already
Hmm.
represented. Yeah. Um,
Artificity has an important question. Not sure if we mentioned it already. I don't think we did. Is it required for players to be in groups of 3, like a proper Super Sentai group, or does it allow single adventures like Metal Hero or Kamen Rider or Ultra?
that's a good question. Hmm. Let me see
Hmm.
if I can find info on that.
Yeah, that would be good to know. While you're looking, I'll also read the rest of the chats that we missed. Artificity
Mm-hmm.
specifies that it's fast food. That's that he's had better customer service with here in the Philippines. He's gotten worse customer service in sit-down restaurants. That's interesting. Also, his boo Mark comment was for the "there's the beef" joke that you made. Although he does boo facetiously, hence the haha.
It's all
Did
good.
you find any info on how many players it
I don't
takes?
know. I
Hmm.
don't know. Though I guess, like if you look at how they do the Kamen Rider inspired one in the stretch goals, like there are support type characters. So if you have a group and you wanna play, in that kind of Sentai setting where you have one hero with support characters, you might be able to do that, I guess. So yeah.
Okay, I'm not seeing any like numbers of players related information here on the Kickstarter page at least. So we probably
Hmm.
won't find an answer to that right now. Um, but yeah, I think that ends our coverage of this topic, unless there's information here in the FAQ or updates that bears, that's worth talking about.
I'm excited for the next one, honestly.
The next
The
one.
next topic.
Oh, the next topic. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's move on to it. So for those of you who care about D&D Beyond at all, or even if you
If you
don't
don't,
care, this might make want to
yeah.
look into it because they have just put their encounter builder in beta, which is now open to people not subscribers or not part of a D&D Beyond campaign. So you can use it even with just using your Twitch or Google account. Just log in with your Twitch or Google account
Yep.
and you can fiddle around with the encounter builder. Now, even in alpha, it was pretty darn cool. It was quite
Yeah.
useful for people like
Great.
me and Mark who needed to put encounters together real quick. I'm going to go ahead and switch to our big view here so you guys can see what their encounter builder looks like on the website. You essentially, if you have a campaign in D&D Beyond, I don't think that's built into the beta yet because I'm logged into D&D Beyond using my Dicecast account, not my personal account, and I don't
Hmm.
have any adventures in the Dicecast account right now. But um, uh, like ideally, what I would like to see in the future is you can just pull the number of characters and the average level of the characters from any
Yep.
given adventure that you have. Uh,
Yep.
but right now there are presets and you can modify those presets. So that'll do for now. So what you do is you manage your party, how many characters and what their average level is, and then by just selecting or searching for any monster that you want to add to their encounter, it will automatically calculate what the D&D Beyond engine believes is the difficulty of that encounter. So, for example, with
Yeah.
this party of 5, average level 5, I believe this abjurer should be a impossible. No, this is a hard difficulty.
Yeah. It's 3 dots of 4.
3 dots of 4. Now the difficult part is how will that be modified by additional monsters. So let's throw in an Aarakocra there too. All right. So even though the Aarakocra CR is just 1/4, meaning a single character of level 1, not even in a party, should be able to handle the Aarakocra, by adding it in with the Abjurer and factoring in all of the extra actions that are afforded by the enemy turns, uh, we already upgrade this fight to a deadly fight instead of just a hard fight. And you can see that the tool has already factored in, how much EXP should be awarded to the party if you award EXP instead of do milestone advancement. And you can also, aside from just throwing the monsters at the party, you can use this to prepare encounters in advance by writing in the summaries. So we'll call these, I don't know, uh, Abjurakokra. And then the encounter description is an abjurer is being carried by the shoulders um, by an Aarakocra. Yeah. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, sure. Well, and then you can write down your treasures. All of the notes are saved, and you can find them in your encounter summary here in your My Encounters list on D&D Beyond. So if you open up the My Encounters page, you can see
Mm-hmm.
the one that we just saved.
Mm-hmm.
It's an untitled encounter for now with the summary of Abjura Kokra, and you can see that it is editable. It's all editable, and you can see the monsters' stat blocks. This is so cool. The monster stat blocks are just available right here. And
Yeah.
tooltips work. Well, even though they are in beta, the tooltips work, so you can hover over specific tooltips like
Mm-hmm.
wisdom or perception, or maybe all of these spells that are available to the Abjurer. You can like just hover over stone skin, and then there you go. You get the stone skin information just like that. Pretty cool. Do we have a visual on this? Asks Artificity. How much better is it than Cobalt Fight Club? Cobalt Fight Club is great. I love Cobalt Fight Club. I love that it has an initiative tracker too. Cobalt Fight Club has that. Right now, the Encounter Builder and D&D Beyond does not. There is no initiative tracking. And in KFC, actually, I'm going to just throw KFC here for a quick comparison. Um, Cobalt Fight Club. Have you used Cobalt Fight Club, Mark? I don't think so.
Not yet. Not yet.
Cobalt Fight Club was the encounter builder before D&D Beyond's encounter builder. And, given the tools that were available to the developer at the time, which were basically just SRD rules, he did a really, really good job. Um, the the main screen is frozen. Not sure if we're aware. I am not aware. There we
Oh,
go.
what's supposed to be on the main screen?
There,
The
that.
builder?
Yeah, the builder.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
my bad. So there's the builder. I'm gonna go ahead and do the mouse over to tooltip again, just to show off. So like you can. This is the encounter builder.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
Wait, I
just
gotta be
back.
right back.
Yep, sure. I'll walk
Yeah.
everyone through this. This is the encounter builder once again. It's drag and drop, so you can drag Abjurer and Aarakocra if you wanted to. You can just remove them just like that. You can also search for monsters. Let's look for a dragon. It's going to probably find a whole bunch of dragons that we don't want to put. Um, there, it's loading that up. There you go. Adult dragons. Let's find something. Let's filter it by CR. We don't want to kill our party of level 5s right away. So here we go. Challenge rating 7 is our maximum CR. And there, we can actually throw in a a bronze dragon wormling or a young black dragon. That fits very well. Now, this is only a medium difficulty according to the calculator, which was calculated by looking at, again, the number of characters and the average party level. So let's add a few wyverns in there and make it at least a hard difficulty without making it too impossible. Uh, we'll make it challenge rating up to 2. Oh, here's a reduced threat wyvern, actually. If we up the challenge rating a little bit. And I think the reduced threat wyvern is something that comes along with a different, what do you call it? A different resource. So I have that because I am part of my personal accounts campaign. So I can throw that in, and that just makes it way too deadly. So we're like, no, I don't want to kill off my characters level 1 or on the first encounter. So let's make it just a bunch of kobolds. And how would that affect our encounter if we throw one kobold in there? All right, that's hard. If we throw another one, it becomes deadly. So let's just keep it to 1. So the way that it calculates this is by factoring in a number of things, including, and most importantly, the action economy. So yeah, technically, throwing a CR 1/8 along with a CR 7 doesn't on paper sound too impressive, you know, but you have to factor in the fact now that there is another creature here that can act with a full set of actions and also receive or be targeted by the actions of the players, which are no longer 100% targeting the young black dragon. So that is the difficult thing about having to manage encounters to prepare. Our faces are missing. That's fine because that's a design of this particular overlay. When we go back to the small overlay, it's going to show our faces again. But the small overlay I'm going to show you right now doesn't show off the encounter builder in its full glory. It's a mobile format, which I'm not too fond of because you lose the drag and drop, and summary information, or rather, the drag and drop and the what you call it. There you go, the difficulty information at a glance, but it still works. You know, you've got this nice large button at the bottom. Looks great for mobile. Artificity says it feels like KFC for D&D Beyond with stuff outside of SRD. Can you create monsters? You can use your homebrewed monsters. So yes, you can. Let's go ahead and create a homebrew monster real quick. My homebrew. Or actually, we don't even have to create the homebrew. We can download or import a homebrew monster created by someone else. Let's go ahead and do that instead because we are pressed for time a little bit. Let's browse and create someone else's homebrew monster and then import it into the encounter builder. Dice Chuck is here. Plus, the Kobold has his finger on the button that opens the floor under the PCs into the lava pit. That's true. A CR18 creature might not seem threatening, but if you give it the tools that it needs to completely kill off the entire party, that's a different story entirely. Greetings and hallucinations to you too, Dice Chuck. Good to
Hello.
see you here again. And happy that you can join us, even though you spent time watching Kale's stream earlier. How did it go, if you don't mind me asking? How are you, and how did the Goose Game stream go? There's the question. Why don't you go ahead
I'm
and
fine.
field that, and I will look for a homebrew monster for us to import into the encounter
Okay,
builder.
sure. Like basically, just on the way to Saturday's event, so I ran into a little accident riding my electric kick scooter. Um, and yeah, I just had a, I just went to the doctor today, an orthopedic doctor, and um, basically I have a small fracture in the wrist as well as a chipped fracture like near like right at the end of my elbow.
Yikes.
So yeah, it's not painful though. Like at rest, I don't feel a thing. So it's fine. They just want to make sure it heals right, so they put a cast. The cast isn't on my whole arm; it's just the wrist. But yeah, so they just want me to rest up, basically keep my wrist and my elbow relatively stationary, so they heal. They have the opportunity to heal, and then we will see. Yeah, I'm right-handed. It sucks. That's what sucks the most, more than anything. So yeah, we'll see. Just like yeah, how it heals in a couple of weeks, and then see where to go from there.
All
Thank you for
right.
asking.
Yeah. Will this interfere with work for long? Asked Dice Chuck.
Honestly, the call center job I do, no. I push two, but it's mostly voice. I push two buttons at the most on a regular workday, and yeah, it's fine.
Welcome to the stream, Eric. Also, we just noticed that you're here. He's also looking out for you, Mark. Everyone's concerned about you,
Thank you.
myself included. You really shouldn't be going to work at all. Please don't. Just rest.
Nah, I need the money,
That's true.
and it's not difficult work. Honestly, like I
Okay.
said, I won't be using my arm at all. It's just two buttons. That's it.
I was looking for a homebrew monster to add to a collection, but apparently you need the D&D Beyond subscription to add other people's creations into your collection, which makes sense. You don't want to just be they don't want to encourage people just being a freeloader, so they got to make money somehow. So I'm gonna
True.
go ahead and reflavor this mage. We'll just really quickly create a homebrew monster and then add that to the encounter builder. Um, Eric says also he recognizes Anthony's weekend at Strad, which is on the docket. So there's that. I guess he's going to be sticking around at least to talk about that. Mage. we'll call this mage a acolyte of Bahamut. No, of Tiamat because it's a bad. And then we'll just call it that, and then keep everything else the same, just for the sake of having a different monster to add to the encounter builder. So
Mm.
I have clicked save changes, just waiting for it to take. I'm sorry about the internet, by the way. You might be noticing that the video is a little bit choppy. Mark has been hearing me dropping in and out of Discord every once in a while. Yeah, there's just not that great internet here, at least today. All right, for some reason I wasn't able to create the homebrew, or at least spitting me out to a 404 page. So let me just double check the homebrew creations here. Doop, doop, doop,
Oh
doop,
wait,
doop.
which topic are we on? Are we
We're
on D&D Beyond or the
Oh shit, we're
compendium?
still on
Beyond,
D&D
right?
Beyond. Sorry, I haven't.
Yeah.
All right, so Acolyte of Tiamat is in my homebrew. It's private, never submitted. That's fine. I don't want people to see that I've just basically renamed the mage. And then if we are going to the encounter builder now, there, we'll go to my encounters. We should be able to add Acolyte of Tiamat. So all of this, all of what I did was just to show Artificity that yes, you can add monsters that you create to the encounter builder. We'll go ahead and oh, it's still loading. It's still loading my encounters. Let's go ahead and just create a new one. Acolyte of Tiamat. There it is. So yes, you can add your own. You can create your own homebrew and add it to the encounter builder. Now, again, if you are a seasoned DM and you're familiar with tools and other ways to add, to create and manage encounters like Cobalt Fight Club, or completely manually do it, this is probably not going to be too useful to you. But if you are already invested or integrated into the D&D Beyond ecosystem, this is a really, really nice thing to have. And even if you're not integrated in the ecosystem, this is a really clean way of keeping your encounters organized. Once again, you can also, name your encounter. So we're going to call this, what do we have in here? We have the Acolyte of Tiamat, 2 Aarakocras. That doesn't make any sense. Let's go ahead and make it Acolyte of Tiamat and 5 Kobolds. And we don't want it to be an easy encounter, so let's go ahead and add, there, 2 Kobolds instead of 5, because that's going to be overkill, apparently. There, or 5 is not overkill. 5 is just hard. Only when we get up to 6 is it considered deadly. Interesting. Anyway, so there we go. We can save this encounter. After naming it, we'll call this Kobold Fury. And we can fill up the summary as well. So I want this to be like an ambush. Ambush along the fringe of, oh, that's not how you spell fringe.
I'm just keeping up in chat. Don't mind me.
Along the forest of Koboldia. And the encounter description is 5 kobolds and their pet mage are taking a walk and are interrupted as soon as they encounter the party. That's just a description. And then you can also list out your treasure and rewards. The treasure will be, I guess, Wand of Tiamat. That could be just a homebrew thing. You just save that, save the encounter. Oops, I dragged up the window. And then you can go ahead and use this wherever you want. And the reason why you would want to use D&D Beyond for this instead of, say, Cobalt Fight Club. Cobalt Fight Club is great. Once again, I'm not disparaging it. It's just no longer in development.
Right.
The developer of Cobalt Fight Club has moved on to other things now. It's open to the public, so there are public libraries that can be added to Cobalt Fight Club, and you can get more monsters that way. But as far as its continued development and support goes, it's done. So this is the D&D Beyond Encounter Builder is the one that I'm looking forward to next, because it looks like it's going to be at least supported for the next couple of years. That said, just the way that D&D Beyond presents information in general, not just encounters, but information in terms of stat blocks and tooltips
Mm-hmm.
is second to none. I just love that you can just like
Yeah.
hover over. There you go, Misty Step. I forgot the Misty Step details. So if I just hover over it, which I can't hear on the on the mobile version, so let's swap on over to the desktop version.
Like
Uh,
integration, right, with D&D Beyond's database, like with the characters that you make on it and all that.
yep,
That
yep.
I think is the biggest draw for
Yep, yep.
this.
That's exactly it. It's the integration that matters. So here you go, making a transition, boom, to that, and you can see if we just even just mouse over like the perception skill, there, you can see a detail or a detailed description or text block of that. Going to the Abjurer again, this guy's got lots of spells on its default spell book.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're a wizard DM, pun not intended, you probably will need to refer to all of these once in a while. And D&D Beyond just makes it super simple by letting you mouse over and see all of the information at a glance, which makes it
Yeah.
super fast and great for running online games. Or even offline games if
Love
you
it.
have the inclination to continue uh, to run games with like a laptop or another electronic device on hand to just continue showing that stuff off. Anyway, I think that's done. Um, I lost my I lost
Your
my
webcam.
projector.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my phone battery is too low apparently to run my projector, so I'm not going to
Aw.
be able to use it, but I can still manually just shift through stuff. The webcams are going to be back on right now because now we don't have to focus on one big thingamajigger. So
Oh,
here's our
right.
webcams. Our next topic, by the way, is the Compendium of Tools by Reddit user Bernier. This is
I
just
like that name.
Burn, yay!
Right.
This is just a compendium of tools that he thinks is pretty darn useful for anyone who wants to DM. He is a novice dungeon master, so it's even that much more impressive that he was able to share all of this information, with people on the D&D Next subreddit. Here is the link to that if you want to take a look at it yourselves, or you
You
can also
know,
open up the topics list and access it from there.
you know what the benefit is also of him being a new-ish dungeon master. So he says that he's been running sessions for about just 2 years now.
Hmm.
Is that all these tools are, for the modern DM.
Yes,
Like these are up to date. These are what you'll find handy if
absolutely.
you're running like D&D or other RPGs like in this day and age. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I had that problem too. I used to have a folder of bookmarks with old tools, old online tools, dice rollers, encounter tables, etc. But that was put together back when I was still just fresh out of college. So a lot of those resources are now no longer available. This guy, since he's a new DM, he's put in the legwork to look at what is currently available and continuously updated. So we're seeing things like
Mm-hmm.
tabletop audio. I remember this. We used this before too.
Yeah.
Roll20, roll advantage token stamp. This is cool. You might want to use this for creating your tokens in your Forgotten Lands
Ooh.
campaign.
Okay, I'm checking this out.
Watch
I'm so
Together
glad you covered this.
is the ability to share music with your players via a link, so all of you can be synchronized in watching or listening to YouTube videos. Improved Initiative is a different way. I think they were in partnership with Cobalt Fight Club. It's a different way to do initiative tracking for fifth
Yeah.
ed. He's also got some, collections of resources, including monsters and stat blocks, character creation tools like point buy calculators, backstory templates, and map building tools, including this one we checked out before, Watabu. Remember that?
Yes, the
Yeah, the
procedurally,
procedurally
yeah,
generated, I don't know what to call that style of map making, but it looked really cool.
classic. That's what
Yes,
they
I
call it.
guess it's just classic.
Classic.
And then Donjon, which is great. I love Donjons, not just the map generators, but all of the random generators that they have there. Incarnate is a fantasy map builder. I think this requires a subscription, doesn't it?
Incarnate? Yeah, I think so.
Over in the comments, I think someone said that there is an alternative uh, that he uses instead of Incarnate because he didn't want to continue paying for the subscription. Let me see if I can find it here. Wonder Draft. Wonder Draft. I used Incarnate for a while, but didn't like the subscription to get all the features. I personally feel like Wonder Draft gives a lot more with the ability to randomly generate land masses. It's hard to make a faster continent map, and it helps that it's a one-time purchase. So
Nice.
yeah, if you are interested in making your own custom landmass for your Forgotten Realms campaign, maybe give that a shot, aside from just Incarnate. Anyway, these kinds of lists come and go all the time, as like we said, developers start and stop uh, support for their projects all the time. Hopefully, this stays pretty current. I think we've got some fresh faces here, including Monster a Day Compendium, Point by Calculator. I've never heard of those before. Watabu is also technically quite new. Um, it's not even in it's not even in full release yet. I think the version
Yeah.
numbers for Watabu are still in the 0 point something
Yeah.
version numbers. But yeah, this is worth looking into if you're interested in running a campaign for new players or even for old players who want to try and play new ways, play with new tools to get their campaigns generated. Catching up with chat. Wow, Mark, how come you're typing? You shouldn't be typing.
I'm using my left hand.
My gosh. All right, fine. Uh, Dice Chuck says, remember in my Neverwinter Nights adventure you two started where I had made custom XP goblins to cause early level ups. Yes, I do recall that. That's super fun. Um, yes, Eric. Mark spilled on the way to Ready Level 1, which sucks because now I feel responsible, partly
You
responsible
are
for
not
that. I know you
responsible.
keep saying that, Mark, but it doesn't change how I feel.
I'm just saying, this accident would have happened sooner or later.
Fine.
It's a thing that happens, whether you're on a bike, on a motorcycle, and on an electric scooter. It's something that happens, and you just have to learn from it. The fact that I was on the way to Ready Level One to get to Ready Level One is completely incidental.
All right. You say
So,
that, I still feel like it's my fault. Um, you can say that all you want. Dice Chuck says the sixth goblin has his finger on the fire traps of doom. He also says wand of Tiamat may shoot fire, cold, lightning, gas, or ice. That's a nice homebrew.
oh, essentially
Yeah,
all the breath weapons
all the
of
breath
the
weapons for
chromatic
chromatic.
dragons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dice Chuck says, oh, the brother of the Reddit user Burnya,
Bernier.
his name is Cool Boo. Their cousins are Lay White and Mo Black. Eric says also good because the list will be pretty geared to solving problems newer DMs have. That's a good point. Yeah, because like again, people like Dice Chuck or Eric or even Mark by this point, he's already DM'd a couple at least, D&D Fifth Edition adventures and many many other systems. These we might take tools like this for granted because we might have our own way of coming up with things on the fly. But for new
Mm-hmm.
players and new GMs, especially topical considering the event that we just covered the other day, they would be coming in here completely fresh faced and with a completely blank slate. So this is good to help them kind of get their bearings.
Mm-hmm.
Ego says, I am responsible. See,
Not
it is my fault.
not.
I'm not reading anything after that. That's doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm done reading chat. I am responsible, and that's the last thing I read. Moving on to the last topic of the day. Where do we have that here? There we go. I think I'll need to open this up in the bigger screen, so just give me a sec
While you're
because
doing that, like just to elaborate on what Dicetrack said, most common problems for new GMs include under repairing or over preparing, railroading, and or having the adventure be like far too easy or far too difficult. I think that's why like my advice to new GMs would be to under prepare.
hmm,
Then under quote unquote under prepare, because you can easily scale stuff. In the like learn how to, scale stuff on the fly mid game, because that way you haven't wasted time
Yeah.
over preparing, at least wasted time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears. Like, just prepare, like, if you're gonna err, err on the side of under or over, err on the side of under preparing. Just so you're more flexible too. Like, you don't feel like you need to commit to any route or path through the adventure. Yeah, that's always that's what I usually tell people.
Right. Because that's a good skill to have, and it'll help you not just in D&D, but every system, and in life as well. It'll help
In
you lie
life
better.
too. Yeah.
All right. So this last topic is Weekend at Strads by Anthony Joyce and Oliver Clegg. This is probably going to be your adventure of choice to run for a quick one shot, a quick, really quick 2 hour one shot this Halloween season.
Oh my
Um,
god.
I love the art. I mean, I want to zoom into it more. Let me just pull it up in the bigger screen. Here we go. All right, so this is the art for Weekend at Strads. Oh, it's not there. Fuck, there. It's just Weekend at Bernie's. It's basically Weekend at Bernie's, but with a Ravenloft D&D theme.
Tangentially Ravenloft. Look at that art
I mean,
and
yeah,
layout. It's just like it's everything but Ravenloft, but
sure.
except for the label,
I mean,
and then
Strad
everything
is
but
there,
Ravenloft.
so
That's so funny.
yeah. So this is it. This is a 2 hour adventure for 3 to 6 players. You don't have to have finished Curse of Strahd. In fact,
Yeah.
it's completely separate. But you can, if you want to, you can make your players who had just finished Curse of Strahd do this as the as
I
the
love
last
this.
part of the adventure, or it could just be a fresh new thing. Um, so this is their subtitle. Strad von Zarvix would be the perfect Dark Lord, except for one small thing. You killed him. So they're totally weekend at Bernie'sing him. I believe. Oh, look at the rest of the art. It's really just absolute fun times here.
Yeah.
Um, The Dungeon Master and players use two major mechanics throughout the course of Weekend at Strahd's. They are New Coke. New Coke is this disgusting drink made with multiple ingredients. Traditionally, the DM and each player bring a liquid ingredient and pours it into a large punch bowl before a
Oh
game of Weekend at
Jesus.
Strahd's, creating New Coke. Throughout the game, the
Oh.
Dungeon Master or players may each drink from New Coke once per location to gain a special benefit. When a player drinks New Coke, they may choose one of the following benefits: advantage on any one roll of their choice, basically inspiration, +3
Oh
to one roll
no.
of their choice, or -3 to one roll of their choice made by another player or creature of their choosing.
Oh no.
So, yeah, this is a
This is
real
scary.
world physical mechanic which is being suggested by the the adventure
I
author,
would choose my players carefully. Like, I would choose the
right?
people I'm playing
Oh
this game with
god.
very carefully.
Cuz like liquid ingredient
It doesn't
that
even
could
say alcoholic,
no, it
non-alcoholic,
doesn't. It's just liquid
condiment.
ingredient. I mean, technically, human saliva can be an ingredient, and that's really gross. I wouldn't.
Jesus Christ.
And the second new mechanic, death. Death is expected in Weekend at Strahd's. When a character dies, they instantly return to life with half their max HP at the beginning of their next turn. Okay. The character with the most deaths at the end of the adventure wins a crayon drawing of Frankenstein Ronald Reagan as a prize. Post this crayon drawing on Twitter using hashtag Weekend at Strahd's to gain inspiration. Sure. Yeah, so this adventure completely is just for fun. Honestly, you wouldn't run this for a serious party. I don't
Uh-huh.
think you would, or I don't think you should. This is just a quick 2 hour way to kill some time and enjoy each other's company that like what you would be doing during Halloween anyway. Look at this Beetlejuice. Ilya fears only one thing: the drink that his parents would threaten him with when he misbehaved. Made from pulverized insects they aptly named Beetlejuice. Ugh.
JP,
Yep.
and if you ran a D&D campaign for kicks, like, would you be down for like healing potions? being
Real.
essentially new, like
Oh God.
within certain bounds. Like if you wanted to drink a healing potion and get like a hit die back just for free, like you would have to drink this
I mean,
concoction.
uh, you know what?
Would that be fun or no?
I would say no. That's kind of gross. Unless everyone was like, unless it was Krista, our friend Krista,
Right.
who could bake the best shit. Um, like, I would be down with it only if I could trust everyone be cool with concocting new Coke. If it's a bunch of strangers, no, please no.
Well, what if there are boundaries? Like
It has to be
it
it
has to
has
be
to be food,
carbonated. It has to be either carbonated, yeah, like definitely
edible
edible,
or drinkable.
carbonated or juice or you know, like just not water because water's boring. But yeah,
Okay,
basically,
yeah, maybe sure.
if it's
Or like,
within those,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
like what's the grossest you can get, right? If you're mixing like
I'm
soda
do
and
you
juice,
okay? I mean, yeah.
and
If
yeah,
it's
obviously non-lethal.
ingredients that you would normally drink by itself, then fine.
Yeah,
But if it's ingredients like excrements from human bodies, that would be gross. Please no. So Weekend at Strahd's is 5.95. It can be considered a bit pricey for a 2-hour adventure, but it's super fun. Give it a shot, guys. Um, let's go ahead and read a description a little bit while chat is still discussing, and then we'll catch up with chat after. Whoa, you've just killed Strahd, but his body remains? How can this be? Lead your party on a retro journey through Castle Ravenloft to collect 5 pieces of a powerful artifact known as the Pentaforce to summon a powerful entity that can put an end to Strahd's reign once and for all. Experience the rad music of the 1980s. What? Wait, what? Experience the rad music of the 1980s as it guides you from room to room, confronting horrors like the Brunch Club, Ghost Hunters, Thrilling Zombies, Ricky Roll, the Loonies, Prom, Barovian Winter Fantasy 86, a flash dance-off with hags, aerobics with undead, Jeremy Crawford, Chris Perkins, and much more. This 80s inspired PDF is professionally designed and
Coke
illustrated
and
by
Eggy.
Gordon
Oh
McAlpin.
god.
Inside, you'll find hyperlinks to each creature and their stat blocks on D&D Beyond, accessible for free. This PDF also includes hyperlinks to a curated Weekend at Strahd's playlist on Spotify, so you can wow your players and relive the epic music of the 1980s as you put an end to the reign of Strahd von Zarovich. The adventure does not require players to have played Curse of Strahd, nor does it spoil anything in Curse of Strahd. This adventure is designed to play casually as a one shot in a tubular party atmosphere. It's so delicious. P.S. One player plays as Strahd's corpse. Okay.
How
One
does that work?
one player plays as Strahd's corpse. Yes, you read that correctly. One lucky player gets to play the entire time as the corpse of Strahd. Oh, and the player that
So
dies the
it's
most
really
wins a crayon drawing of Frankenstein Ronald Reagan. Enjoy.
so yeah, it really is Weekend at Bernie's, like full on, full on. If
Yeah.
it wasn't obvious yet, that yeah, that that's the nail in the coffin.
This is ridiculous. I love it. It's so bad it's good. you know? Um so I wouldn't run this campaign for or this adventure for anyone who wants to get the D&D experience like for the first time. Because it's just too wacky. I would say it's too wacky, you know.
It ruins normal D&D,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
It
It's but for people who are like kind of over it or not really over it. People who are already familiar with it and are, they know D&D like the back of their hand. This sounds like a fun 2-hour excursion.
diversion.
Diversion,
Yeah.
right? Catching up with chat. Ah, where did I leave off? Right. Dice Check says it's been my experience that the most common problems new GMs have include underpreparing, overpreparing, railroading, and/or having the adventure be far too easy or far too difficult. Yeah, so that's what the encounter builder should help with. I mean, ideally, if it's built well, and
True.
it's easy enough to use, even for a new GM, they shouldn't have to worry about encounters being too difficult or too easy, regardless of how many monsters you add in to the thing. Now, of course, you can do a total dice chuck thing and make a CR 1/8 creature, like be right next to a lever that suddenly explodes the world. Okay, you can do that.
Don't remind me if I got this wrong. But don't traps also have a CR?
Yes, traps have a
So
CR,
you could still, yeah.
but you can
It
always
could,
override that as the GM.
okay.
Like a lever that, when pulled, causes the entire floor to drop.
Uh huh.
Maybe that's a CR 20 dexterity check to avoid, right? But if you describe it as the entire floor of the building dropping, I'd say it's a pretty tough argument to make that you can avoid that. But that's just for, for GMs like Dice Chuck who want to make kobolds like the big bad. I wouldn't mind. Like the big evil bad guy isn't one guy. It's like a three kobolds in a trench suit who are super smart. Sure. Trench suit, trench coat. Ebsabal says, "Oh no, I read this. I am not responsible. If anything, you made the whole thing more bearable for him. I don't know about that. Did I? Maybe not.
Dude, you got us coffee, you got us drinks,
Oh sure.
you know,
Okay.
you're offering to spoon feed me because I couldn't use my right hand, which was sweet. But
Not
I,
spoon
I
feed
I
you,
still have
dude.
my other
That's too
hand.
far. I was just offering to cut your food for you."
Oh, sorry.
Eric says, "Nah, you aren't responsible. He would have spilled anywhere. It's more that he went out to have fun and got a fractured wrist in the mix." Man, you guys with weak ass bones. I've never broken a bone.
I'd never broken a bone for this either.
Yeah.
So I don't
There's a
know. Like,
subreddit, never broke a bone. And
oh yeah,
like if you ever admit that you got a fracture or even a hairline fracture, they abuse the heck out of you to like kick you out of the
yeah.
subreddit. It's so funny. Like, you weakling, you were never part of this subreddit. You had bad bone genes since you were born. Oh man, they're harsh but funny. Um, Dice Check says, "Here's a great inexpensive Halloween game. It's designed especially to be a one-shot slasher flick." Sure. We'll put this up on stream and talk about it in a bit because we still have about 10 minutes to go. Eric says it doesn't even say non-toxic. Oh God. Yeah, you can put plutonium in there, liquid plutonium, if that's a thing. The actor that played the Bernie corpse in that film is actually an extremely talented and versatile actor that sadly is mostly only known for that role at Weekend at Bernie's. He is also a great character actor in both comedies and dramatic roles. Oh man. Eric says, "Mark, this Watabu generator on small scale is pretty good for populating the Forbidden Lands with random villages."
Yeah, like that comment.
It has to be non-lethal, referring to liquids in the health potion, or everyone has to take one swig of their own ingredient before they add the rest. That's a good workaround. Like
Yeah.
if you think everyone can stomach it, you have to prove it by stomaching it yourself. Oh God, Ego saying Coke and egg yolk as your mixed drink. Uh, Dice Chuck reaffirming his love for the 80s. Eric saying it was actually, sorry, Ego saying it was actually a real drink in the 80s. Some sort of freak diet craze, Coke and raw
Nasty.
egg
That's
yolk.
so
That's
nasty.
gross. So was milk and Pepsi. Ugh.
It's
Why?
all the wrong kinds of coffee.
God.
That's what it is.
Uh, Eric saying the starchy rinse from washing rice. Oh, you know what? Isn't that what rice tea is made of?
No. What the no.
Barley tea.
What?
Isn't that
That's
the
not.
rice runoff?
No, dude. What
What?
are you talking about? That's not what barley tea is. Here. Wait, I'm pretty sure that's not what it is.
I mean, you're putting
Ah,
you're putting hoji cha in the water, and you get rice runoff anyway. So either way, just we wait. JP age gets all of us. Says no. You know what? I think I'm never gonna break a bone. I'm gonna die before I break a bone. You guys with all your weak bones and your lack of calcium. OMG, that
Just you
subreddit.
wait.
It's also what horchata is made of. Yeah, right? Ego gets it. Yeah,
What?
rice milk and cinnamon. Horchata. You've never tried horchata?
No.
I guess because you didn't grow up in California.
Oh, fuck you.
Mark is so bothered, says Eric.
Wait, I'm really like looking up how barley tea is made.
Look up
Like,
how horchata is made. You essentially wash rice and then warm up that runoff water. That's horchata. Dice Chuck, that's just pushing it too
that's
far.
dirty, man.
Remind me
That's like
not to drink
that's
any tea
dirty
made by
water.
JP. Hmm.
I don't care what you guys say. That's dirty water. You throw that shit out before you boil the rice.
Sure. Okay.
You rinse the rice twice, in fact, to get all that
All
crap
right.
out.
You're missing out on some good horchata, but sure.
Oh God, whatever.
Remind me not to drink any tea made by JP. Sure. More tea for me. Fact. This is just what I had just now. Oh, there. I spilled some tea on my desk right there. Just showing it off for you guys on the camera. That's okay. It didn't get on the laptop. That's fine. Um, the rice rinse sometimes
What the
gets
flex
used
about
in.
California? Yeah, fuck you.
What do you mean, fuck me? I'm the guy who has to live outside of his home.
All right,
You've
all
lived
right, all
here
right.
your entire life. I
I do
fucking
get
miss
that.
home, dude. I'm gonna talk about it whenever I get the
Okay,
chance
look.
to.
So,
Okay?
um, the thing is, I think the difference here is that the barley tea. So you roast the barley, and
Mm.
then you apply, you put it in water and you apply heat. That's a big difference from rinsing the chaff off
All
of
right.
rice.
Fair. Sure.
Okay,
Fair.
okay. Heat is a huge difference.
Okay. I mean, sure. Sure. But if you boil
And
it down to it, it's washed
it,
rice.
heat, my friend,
That's
is the
why I
difference
said
between
if you
raw,
boil it down to it.
you know. Yeah, even what Eric said, the rice rinse sometimes gets used in cooking recipes. The point is like you cook with it. Like you don't just drink the freaking thing.
Is this the way we want to end our stream? Talking about fucking
Maybe.
cooking rice? Okay.
Just yeah. It's a worthy ending. We feel strongly about it,
Let's
obviously.
at least
So
talk
it's
about
all
what
good.
Dice Chuck shared with us, even though he's being super abusive to me right now.
Okay. Okay.
So Slasher Flick by Spectrum Games. This is oh cool. It's cheaper at 348. I guess it's on discount for a little while. Um Unstoppable maniacs, gratuitous violence, nail-biting suspense, oversexed counselors. Slasher Flick is a role-playing game that brings all of the thrills and chills of psycho killer cascade movies from the screen to the tabletop. With a game system that was designed to create and build suspense, Slasher Flick emulates every aspect of the genre with ease and style. Insert insert Jason scream here. Or what's it called again? Wilhelm scream. Multiple characters. Each player. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, each player plays a primary character as well as one or more secondary characters, i.e., the victims. Group based character creation. Players create their own primary characters, but everyone helps create the secondary characters. Kill scenes. When the killer strikes, a kill scene begins. A kill scene is a stream of narration punctuated by stat checks. Successful stat checks grant the character survival points, while unsuccessful ones cause a loss of survival points. If the character gains 8, he survives, but if he drops below 0, he's butchered. Genre points. When a character does something that plays to the conventions of the genre, I for example, checking out the noise or making out in unreasonable locations. Or I guess if we're gonna be super racist
Oh,
about it.
right, right, right. Because if it's like a slasher flick, right?
Yep.
Like it's like the like what in the most kill boxy place that they happen to start doing shit like that. That's the one point. I
Yep.
love it.
Um, sorry. When the controlling player then receives a genre point that can help out later on in the game. So it's like an inspiration, I guess. Rulebook is digest size and can be printed on 2 pages per sheet of paper. That's pretty cool. Is there a preview? I think there is. Yep. It's by Cynthia Celeste Miller, art by Patrick Sullivan. and it's published by Spectrum Games. Wow, there's only 72 pages. I thought it was 6 pages. My bad. 72 pages, chapter 6, 6 chapters, and I think that's all we can preview. Nope. There you go. Grave danger. Mark,
Yo,
you're more familiar with drive-through RPG than me.
a bit.
What's
Sure.
stopping anyone from just looking at the previews and downloading that and printing that out?
Because it's not the complete game.
Is it not the complete game?
No,
Okay.
no. Those are just like a few pages.
All right.
Usually the non-critical pages, like
Okay.
it won't have character creation or anything like that.
Okay, so
So yeah,
this only goes up to page 11. But like I've seen
yeah.
resources here that are only 5 pages long and then all of it are in the full-size preview, right? We've covered some things
Oh
like that before.
no, I don't think like I've ever seen like the whole thing on the preview. Like
Mm,
it's usually, like the I don't think people are gonna shoot themselves in the foot like that.
okay.
Yeah, it's usually only the first few pages, the table of contents to see, thank you, to show like what else you're missing out on and stuff. But yeah, yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna, yeah.
So that's a cool little fun diversion from D&D in general. It looks like it's a completely different set of rules, not like Weekend at Strahd's, which is an adventure for fifth ed. Slasher Flick is a actual game with its
Yes.
own rules, which sounds really cool and super easy to play too. Um, I think we can get into this. We should do a Halloween stream, right, Mark?
Oh,
If you're
we
feeling
should.
better by then.
Yeah, I can stream as long as like I don't have to type and stuff. Like thankfully, OBS and the medium itself,
Hmm.
I don't really have to type so much. Like if when I do stream, like what I think is gonna disappoint me though is that I can't even like wait, let me see. Yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. Like
Oh.
my
You
hand
can't
won't
even
fit my
play the
controller.
controller?
Yeah,
Oh no.
I'm gonna be stuck playing, Football Manager, Civ, BattleTech, mouse-based
You can play
games.
mobile games, one-handed mobile games. If
Ugh,
you
oh well,
I'm
we'll see.
playing Orna RPG right now on my phone, which is I didn't expect to get so into it, but it's just really dumb diversion fun for me. It's a geolocation game that looks and plays a little bit like Pokemon Go, but with 8
Oh, okay,
graphics. Anyway,
cute. Okay.
let's catch up with chat. I'm gonna give you horchata, Mark, if we ever meet. I don't know why I read it out like that, but
It sounds like a threat now instead of like an invite to try something I've never tried before. But
that was
okay,
from
sure.
Ego. That's Ego's real voice, by the way.
Yeah,
Ego sounds like that. I'm gonna give
he's
you
like he's
horchata.
taken. He's the taken guy.
I will
That's ego.
find you.
Okay, I'll find you and pour her shot down your throat.
Eric says, "Okay, fair. Yeah, cooking with rice water is different from just dumping it into the new Coke." Dice Chuck, I don't know how JB puts up with me. It's okay. I know you mean well, and it's like it's the kind of friendly ribbing that you can only do with the people that you really are comfortable with. Mark Lobster says, well, you know what Mark Lobster said. I can be a bit maarte about stuff I ingest. That's true. If you guys didn't know this about Mark, you should now. He's he's kind of dainty.
No, it's just I don't eat veggies. That's uh, most veggies.
Actually,
Okay, like me explaining this is just driving the point home even more. But okay, I will eat veggies, but most usually not cooked veggies.
mm,
Like cooked veggies to me feel kind of gross. Like I will eat a salad.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm good with that. But like
Salads are
if
good.
it's oily and stuff, I won't eat it unless it's like Japanese yasaitame. For some reason, I can eat that.
Yes, I ate them.
see,
Yeah.
see the hole I'm digging for myself. It's I just yeah.
What about steamed vegetables, like steamed
I
string beans or carrots or steamed cauliflower?
can't eat carrots. I can't eat. I can't. I can't eat cauliflower. I can eat broccoli, I guess, sometimes, but
Broccoli's good, dude.
yeah, broccoli's good. I like broccoli. Can't eat carrots though. Like carrots are fucking gross. Uh, yeah,
But
it's
Dicechuck agrees with
I'm
you. He agrees
I'm
that most
picky.
veggies taste better and are better for you raw.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah, they have the most nutrients still and stuff. But
make sure
yeah, like
you wash it with the runoff water of rice. You can seal in that flavor, you know?
uh,
Um Ego concurs. Yep, I sound like a serial killer. Oh, hey, Dicechuck shares this tidbit. Cynthia, sorry, what was her surname? From the slasher game from Spectrum Games, full size preview. Cynthia Celeste Miller was also the one who created Cartoon Action Hour, which, if you recall, Dicechuck has brought up this game several times in past streams. It's a fantastic game
mhm.
based on creating and living in an 80s action cartoon.
Celeste Miller. There you go.
Yeah, that's a
Cynthia
cool.
Celeste Miller.
That's a cool. Um, Crownery, Eric says, I find that most cooked vegetables done in the Tagalog cuisine manner are overcooked, and I agree, overcooked and gross. I also prefer lightly steamed
Yeah.
vegetables, also overcooked to death stuff. I do like a steamed carrot. Um, I like roasted garlic, but that's not a vegetable. I like
Like
roasted tomatoes. Holy, I like grilled
that's
tomatoes.
also good, I
Yeah.
guess. Like okay, like an example of what I guess what Crownery, what Eric is saying. Like pinakbet. Like I can't eat
Yeah,
pinakbet.
it's weird. I don't like
It's
pinakbet either.
I don't know. It's
But
weird.
my
Yeah.
but Trish loves it, so I can't complain. Does Edwina more share your tastes, or do you have
No,
varied tastes as well?
she's got yeah. We have varied tastes. Like and
Yeah,
she's got more. I don't know. Like I guess no, she has some stuff too that she doesn't like, but I like. Our common ground though is cilantro. Like
oh yeah,
we're
yeah.
one of those people, you know,
With
with that gene that
mm-mm,
makes cilantro taste like soap for us,
yeah,
and
me
makes us
too.
complain about it nonstop whenever it gets in our food.
Does not have that gene. She has the good gene that makes cilantro taste really good. I'm
Amazing.
jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I wish I knew what that felt like.
I know.
Honestly, because when other people eat cilantro, it's like the most wonderful thing for them. But
I
for me, it tastes like
know.
soap.
Santagoy, behold, I am here. Okay, behold, we're gonna end the stream. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. We're gonna end soon, but
Pretty soon, yeah.
I think I
But
will
thank you for
continue
tuning
with an
in.
after party later. I'm going to draw more assets. Um,
Oh, cool.
and if you're up to it, Mark, I'd love to have you on board. But I know you have to rest too. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rest after this one.
Eric
I
also
might
can't eat
follow
pinakbet.
in chat.
Hmm,
Oh, there you go. There, yeah, right, right. So I'm glad we're on the same page here,
yeah,
dudes.
pinakbet is weird. Like, we're
I
all
don't
in the
feel so
anti.
alone.
How do we describe pinakbet to Dice Chuck? Um,
Good lord.
it's like a
That's
vegetable
such a difficult
stew.
thing with any
I don't
Filipino food.
know.
Wait, Google will help us. How
Yeah.
is pinakbet described in
Anyway, while
Google?
you're searching that,
It is an indigenous Filipino dish made from mixed vegetables steamed in fish or shrimp sauce. I have no problem usually with the fish or shrimp sauce, but just like throwing the word vegetable, not word, throwing vegetables in there
it's
just makes me ugh. Makes me
it's
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about
I
how pinakbet
know.
tastes. It's yeah, I don't
I like how Eric put it. It's the new Coke of overcooked vegetables. Ego says it's overcooked stewed vegetables with sweet sauce. If there's one thing you need to know about Filipino, like
We like our
traditional
sweets.
Filipino food, Dice Chuck, is that it's usually overloaded with sweet sauce. It's kind of gross. I mean, granted, there are some really, really good Filipino cuisines as well, but there's a lot of it that I would care less for.
It's not mushed or mashed together. So
No, no, no.
it's not
Yeah,
gerber, but it's just like you have things like okay.
baby
I
corn.
hate pinakbet so much that I don't even know what goes in pinakbet.
There's like baby corn. There's cabbage. There's
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, there is yeah, baby corn, cabbage,
Those are the big
bitter
ones.
melon or
Bitter melon.
ampalaya,
Yeah,
eggplant, tomato, okra, string beans,
yeah, 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 yeah,
winged
yeah.
beans, and so on. Root crops too. So you can have like sweet potato. What's patani in
I have no
English?
idea, dude. I don't even know what
Bean,
ampalaya in
lima
English
bean.
is.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it's a smorgasbord of stuff.
Yeah, it's
But
basically anything that the farmers have left for themselves after they
oh
sell all of
yeah,
their shit.
I guess
It's
it's like
that's
it's
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 survival food. You know,
it's yeah,
that's how a lot of Filipino cuisine came about. Like sisig. I love sisig, but if you tell people that it's made out of the knuckles and the noses and ears of pigs,
the face. Yeah,
it's the face, essentially the face of a pig. I don't know. It's kind of a turnoff to a lot of people.
I don't know
Um,
until until
until
they
you
taste
try
it,
it,
and it's like
yeah, try it.
whoa.
It's so good. Oh, do you remember the days when I still had
No,
dentures
do not go back to that because I'm you've already done enough damage with
with Wendy's?
Wendy's. Don't go back to that.
Oh man.
But yeah, okay, fine. JB basically, like, their family ran a branch of
Yeah,
Dentros.
we
For those
had.
of you in the US and Canada, what's Dentros? It's like a chain, right?
Mm,
A franchise
mm, mm.
of great Filipino food. And there were some days where we would just head over there after class and pig out. And those were
Yeah.
the days.
Yep. Oh God, I love free rides. Oh, Santagoy took it harsh. I wasn't trying to be mean, buddy. It's okay. We're still friends.
Well, JP's gonna do an after party stream. So
Yeah,
there you go. He's just kidding.
you can be abusive back to
Um
me in return. It's fine. We just have that kind of relationship. Uh,
Eric has a good point about the veggies.
yeah,
Like, on the farm, it's super fresh.
right.
But by the time it gets to Manila, it's already been through what,
It's been
6, 8 hours of
Oh
smoggy
God,
road,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be lucky if you get vegetables that were harvested the same day, let
No,
alone
that's why we go to, like, the
farmers
farmers
market. Yeah.
markets. Yeah, here. Wet markets, farmers market. That's where we get most of our veggies and meat because it's fresh.
Dice Chuck's begging us to play this thing. I don't know what it is, but let me try and open it up. Oh, it's being a bit finicky right now.
Oh, Santagoy, you know what else you missed? Like, because you ducked out early of our Ready Level 1 stream. You missed me and JP. Like, you've always been asking us to eat on camera. You actually you actually missed out on me and JP eating on camera
Yeah.
because we had zero pucks at that point. We were hungry. We were tired.
Oh man.
Our voices were running out. So yeah, we,
Yeah, you ducked out early, which isn't your fault. I know that,
yeah, it's okay.
it's Saturday. You want to enjoy your Saturday. All right, I'm putting the sound on. Don't worry. Let's play this. I'm gonna play it at 25 seconds, and Dice Chuck really recommends this, so I'm not sure what's going on, but here we go. Laugh track.
Hey, what are you doing?
What is this?
That's my lunch.
Smells like garbage.
Garbage. Are you kidding? This is a Japanese delicacy. Fish heads, cabbage leaves, cucumber rinds, celery tops.
It's terrific.
Does he eat it?
Come to think of it, that is garbage.
Actually, yeah. All of the stuff that you throw away, all of the stuff that you don't usually eat as part of the main course, that's what we get. That's Filipino food in a nutshell. Santagoy, no, I had family outing. That's okay. Maybe I'll eat on stream, like for the after party. I don't know. Dice Chuck adores this show. What show is this? This is Barney Miller.
Ah,
There's a lot of shows that are super Americana that we
is
just
this
can't.
one of them?
I think so. We can't relate to this.
The
Did
most
like
Americana show I know is
hmm,
probably GI Joe.
that came out here though,
Honestly,
right? That came out here.
yeah, that came out here.
Yeah, you guys got GI Joe. You guys got okay. Did you guys ever get like the children's shows from the early 90s like Barney's and Gullah Gullah Island and shit, or was it different? Was
Uh
it Eat Bulaga here from the beginning?
no, actually, like, there Philippines had some dope anime like
Yeah?
on network TV. Like I grew up watching Dragon Ball, Ghost Fight, Yu Yu Hakusho,
Mm.
um, Robotech. What other anime was on Star? All I can remember is Robotech. But yeah, basically we had some pretty good like selections in terms of anime. Like okay, this like Akazukin Chacha
Oh, I love that.
was yeah, that was super cute. I was
Boom,
into Akazukin Chacha.
boom. Cha-cha.
And all the friendship the friendship vibes from that show.
Yep.
It was nice. It was like, yeah. I like yeah, Samurai
Kenshin,
X.
yeah. Rurouni Kenshin.
Um Ranma was on
Yeah, we
like
had
RPN.
Ranma, Ghost Fighter.
Um
Ironically, I never watched Ghost Fighter all the way through. Um, there was that one that my one of my early Yahoo names was based off.
Max Sterling represent.
Uh,
Sorry.
Flame of Recca.
Yeah, Flame of Recca's here too.
That's
That was
so
nice. I
stupid.
like that. I think it's an AXN.
And
Maybe
then
from
what
the
was that one
AXN.
with like
Yeah.
Tamahome and Miyaka? Tamahome!
Uh oh,
Miyaka!
oh
Oh
god.
god. Fushigi
Oh
Yugi.
god. Shigi there.
That was what we watched. Dice Chuck. Watch Yu Yu Hakusho now on stream. I can't. That's copyright
That
hell.
would yeah.
You know what?
We
Speaking
would
of copyright
get
hell, like this is not your fault, Dice Chuck, and I'm not telling you to stop, but the 8-bit songs, some of the 8-bit songs that you put on the song request, actually not just Dice Chuck, some of them for some reason are copyright protected. So like on the VODs, if you notice, we'll get muted during that part. I'm not telling you to stop doing that because we like the songs and it's only during our our intro part anyway. Just so you know. What else did we watch early on? What is Rape Vibes? Curious Play. Oh,
yeah,
that's what it was called
Fushigi.
in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had kind of really dumb, weird rape vibes. What was that anime with the three girls? They had mechs. Red hair, blue hair, green hair.
Rayers?
Yeah, Magic Knight Rayer.
Yeah.
Was another one with kind of rapey vibes.
Oh, the 8-bit ones from a certain channel are all okay. I don't recall which
OC
specific channel JP
Remix.
is saying. There you go, OC
Yeah,
Remix. But
OC Remix has
yeah,
just a white blanket pass over copyright. You can use anything
mm,
there.
they're the safest one. Like others, you might not get copyright strikes, but the safest one is yeah, OC Remix.
Yeah, but
I think I
honestly,
also threw a couple of ones up. I think
mm,
that triggered copyright strikes, right?
yeah, it did.
Like the anime ones. Yeah.
But we only play music during the BRB and countdown scenes anyway, and those can be muted for all I care about.
Yes.
It's just during the main stream, like when we're talking about topics, the ones that annoy me are when we play trailers, and then that gets
Yeah.
copyright struck. Come
Why?
on, that's a
We're helping
trailer.
promote.
Exactly.
Like the whole point is to promote, right? So like
Yeah.
why?
So like Mark and I are kind of thinking of not ever doing trailers again anymore because of that.
Yeah,
So stupid.
it's okay.
Anyway, I think we can end on that
Uh,
point before I take a break, get some food, and eat it during the after party because Santago wants to watch me eat for some weird reason. I'll just have the whole stream picture is just me with my messy food mouth. God. Um, Stick around for that, and if you're not able to, I don't blame you for not wanting to stick around for that. But if you don't want to or can't, you can catch us again on Wednesday, where we will stream whatever Wednesdays.
the fuck
Yeah,
we want.
it's no longer Video Wednesday, and to be fair, Mark, you can't.
I can't.
Yeah,
I
unless
can't.
it's
I can't even vidya myself. Much less play multiplayer.
that sucks. But take it easy, man. Just don't overexert yourself.
Nah, I
Yeah.
know my limits. I'll be fine. I can take care of myself. Don't worry.
Dicecheck says it's 3:16 a.m. He's probably not gonna
Yeah,
make it.
he's gonna
That's
take care of
fine.
himself.
Yeah, you should
Good
sleep
night,
too.
Dice Chuck.
Everyone, put your health before watching us. I mean, we're gonna be around. you can watch our old stuff. If I die tomorrow, Mark can continue to stream. If he dies, well, I can find a replacement. It's
Well,
fine.
if both
But
of us die, then we're
if
fucked.
both of us die, all of our old stuff are on. You can watch our old stuff. If you guys die though, I don't know what we would do because we just do this for you guys. So don't die. Take care of yourselves. Don't die. Love the game. Love each other more, guys. See you in a
And
bit.
love your health more.
And love your health.
See,
Love the game. Love each other, and love yourself. See you guys.
see ya. Thanks for tuning in.
Are we gonna talk over the intro? Yeah. No.
I don't know. I can't see the intro this time. Like it's you. It's on your end this time. Yeah, that clip is untitled. Alright. Oh, I talked over it. Sorry.
This is the first time I've heard the intro ending song play all throughout. It's so good. Bye, guys.